This is going to be a freestyle 1v1. Alright, let's get into it. So 3 games, guys. Now, if you want to vote, obviously, you want to stick around till the end. If you don't catch all the games, don't worry, you can still vote on who you think was the best player. These two are going to be trying to score cool goals. We've got Ganer and NightOwl making his on-stream debut. But he was recommended by Ganer, so he's got to be pretty insane himself. Also, just want to say a quick thank you to Riley Jones, Steakface, and Hinata RL for all 3 of you joining the YouTube channel. That's right, 3 in like a 1-day span, which is pretty insane for YouTube members. So I appreciate that a lot. And what on earth is this? We've got Ganer over here with his classic camera settings, and then we've got 0v0. This is NightOwl, and he's going to be making his debut in a freestyle 1v1 to Ganer. Now he's starting off with doing keepy-ups. Oh my days. Well, that was a pretty interesting beginning. He just did a little circle there of flip resets. Unfortunately, he wasn't really going anywhere. Gainer's going to try and have a bit more direction with his. In fact, no, he tries to do the same recovery that NightOwl did. That's the little jump back up into the air, the bounce back up into the air. Ganer had epic lag there. They both got 64 pings, so pretty fair stuff. Now, last time we saw Ganer in a freestyle only 1v1, he was up against someone who could flip reset pretty well. That was Led, of course, but Led is an air dribble specialist. So it seems so far that we're actually going to maybe see 2 flip reset specialists against each other. NightOwl, with very different camera settings than Ganer, is also training together quite a few of them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, NightOwl is a Grand Champ player. Oh, look at that. Is he really going to bring this air dribble back? I believe that the back end of his cart, in fact, touched the ground and he still saved it. He's like just scooting along the ground here like a Hoover, but he keeps it in the air. I don't know how he really managed that. Maybe the fact that his car touched the ground kept him airborne. But now Ganer with an air dribble of his own. He's got the flip reset intact, courtesy of landing on the ball. But these guys are starting off really slow momentum-wise. That's, you know, part of the plan. They want to keep going as long as possible, but they're really having a fight for this. Gainer struggling to get the ball back up into the air, and he is going to drop it. It was a proper battle there. It looked like he might get it back up there for a minute, but it wasn't meant to be. So no goals to vote on just yet. I think that NightOwl kind of came the closest. Oh, now that's cheeky. Look at that takeoff. He's almost got this one on target. In fact, lands on the back wall to shoot the ball. The back wall brought his car to an abrupt halt, which actually knocked the ball forward, but it wasn't on target. And Vadelord, thanks for gifting a sub to YouTube. PinXV. I appreciate that. Oh, Gainer's just double touched that wide. It's a nice save in the near post as well by NightOwl, who, like I said before, I believe is a Grand Champ player. So he's more likely to have the better defense out of the two. And I think his camera settings are more intuitive for goalkeeping than Gainer's as well. So no goals just yet. We're over 2.5 minutes in. Of course, when players are going for shots of this level of difficulty, goals can be difficult to come by. Ganer has bounced back into the air here. He's trying to salvage this. He's already had a couple flip resets, but it's just not meant to be. Once again, Ganer can't get the ball back up in the air on the air dribble. Obviously, like I said earlier, Ganer played against an air dribble specialist in Lead last time he was in a freestyle 1v1. But he's not half bad at the air dribbles himself, and there are a lot of players these days who are getting better and better at them. NightOwl as well, very familiar with that mechanic. Breakouts seem to be the way to go for these incredible length air dribbles. So, oh, Ganer just a bit too far to the right there on his backflip flick. We'll just try a new server after this one, but they're going to play this out because they are only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this one. Adequate Llama, thanks to the 3-month tier 1. You are absolutely adequate. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, really interesting takeoff there from NightOwl. What he's doing is something I've never actually seen before in a freestyle 1v1. He's waiting until his car is almost touching the ground and then landing again. Gainer way above the goal. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. Or might have been a save. I don't think it was because I didn't see a save notification, but so close for Gainer. He got a ton of height on the backflip flick. And the bounce back into the air does not work out for NightOwl. Still no goals in the first game. So Gainer looking to get things started still. It's going backwards for the time being. That is, of course, going to increase the difficulty level of his shot, but I don't know if he's able to get this back into the air. Can he? No, not quite. I think he's going to have to bail on this one, but he almost scooped it back into the air there. This seems to be a new thing that these guys are trying to salvage shots that would otherwise be done and dusted. It's not the same as that. What was that shot or that takeoff that also gave you a flip reset on the ground where you would dodge with a backflip on takeoff? They're actually upside down and front flipping. It's a similar sort of thing. No goals in game one. Actually, if there are no goals here, if there's no goal on 0 seconds, then I don't know. Maybe they'll just want to go for a server reset before. Hold on, it might actually be a goal. Oh, it is going to be overtime in the first game. Yeah, we could, because then we're going to get a full 5 minutes. Ganer's suggesting a reset. It looks like NightOwl wants to give it a go. Oh, gotcha. I thought he meant or reset the lobby. I was like, yeah, we could. I wouldn't mind if they wanted to. NightOwl saying when you teleport to the ground. I don't know what he's referring to. Oh, another one of those cheeky little takeoffs from Ganer. Not paying off. Yeah, the wrong reset. I got my resets mixed up. Oh dear, NightOwl completely being in that one. He's going to give it another go because they didn't get it started. Ganer wants to psionics please in the chat. Apparently they're having an absolute nightmare with this server. They've had a couple of close shaves. Look at that takeoff by NightOwl. That's so interesting to see. I don't know what they call this, but very, very cool mechanic there. Just using your dodge to get back into the air. So it's partially the server to blame for these guys struggling. They're not having the easiest time with this one, but it's also because they're going for very, very high difficulty shots early on. It's not like they've just decided, okay, I'm just going to score a 1 flip reset shot to get things started, and then we'll take it from there. No, they've gone straight to 10 out of 10 difficulty, and it hasn't paid off just yet. Ganer, if he'd managed to redirect that on target, I think NightOwl might have just let it go in out of respect. Saitama2255, thanks for the 9-month prime. Welcome back, buddy. I really appreciate that. So here's that same takeoff again from NightOwl. Of course, once he does do it once, he doesn't have his reset anymore unless he can get in position to land on the ball a second time, which I'm sure he's more than capable of. Into the air again for Ganer. Not the best angle, and he's going for another one of these ridiculous redirects on a rebound off the sidewall. Both of them set up with that same backflip flick. And NightOwl gets a pirouette into position. There's the takeoff. Now he's got a much better hit on the ball here. I think the ball is still going to 1v1 him into the ground though, and it will. Got a better first touch, so he couldn't carry it on into a continuation of an air dribble. So Ganer going to take off on the right hand side of the wall. You're glad you caught this stream? Yeah, good to have you, man. Ganer might be about to get the first goal here. Oh, he almost bumped NightOwl. That would have guaranteed it. NightOwl evades him, and now he's got a chance to win this one in overtime. So close for Ganer. I think he might have actually hit the ball there at the same time as his ceiling did. Now here he goes, looking a lot better. He's right up at the ceiling at the moment. The ball is not moving, but he's done well. Scoops it on target, but slowly. And after seeing how difficult that one was to work towards the goal, I'm impressed that he did manage to get a shot off, but no luck just yet. Ganer again, very high above the goal. Oh, he's hit the bar a second time. He's come so close on 2 different occasions with those rebounds. That was not a reset for NightOwl, so he tried to bounce back into the air, but he's messed that one up. Ganer, I think he's just going to try that same shot again because he's so close to having success with it, or he's been so close to having success with it. Struggling to keep the ball in the air long enough to get in range though. Allows NightOwl to come in and put a shot on. He's going to just start off turtling. No reset just yet. Let's see if he decides to go for one. Maybe just going to go for a simple air dribble. When I say simple air dribble, I mean freestyler terms of simple, because this is certainly far from simple for most Rocket League players. There is the reset, and there is the goal for NightOwl. And it was a very good goal. It took a long time coming. He got the reset after a super extended air dribble and immediately guided it towards the top corner. And just like that, we have a 1-goal game. So right now, NightOwl has to be winning in most people's estimation. Although I didn't, I didn't specify that the poll would be for, what do you call it? For goals. So I suppose it doesn't have to be goals. But yeah, they want to try maybe 4 games to get a better one. You turned me into a morning gamer with your EU time zones. Yes, yummy cheese man. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning. I've still not slept. It's almost 1 in the morning for me. The Poison Donut, thanks for the Prime sub. Welcome to the stream. So let's get into another game and see if the lag will be any more friendly to Ganer and NightOwl. Looks like numerically it will be marginally better. You passed your exam. Nice, King Spectre. Congrats, man. Oh, that must be such a relief. When you pass exams, it is just like a massive lift of stress. Trix RL, thanks for the Prime sub. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Gainer failing his first takeoff here. Wake up a normal time. Yeah, the EU OCE time zone difference, man. It is quite something. Yeah, we've got NightOwl with the only goal so far in this series. Well, Gainer requested another game here since they were both struggling. Did he actually get a reset there? Oh my goodness, Gainer! With super unconventional resets back to back.
Against the KSA boys.
How about that? Again and again, just landing on the ball and dribbling it into the top corner. That might be better than what NightOwl produced in overtime game 1. Up to you guys to decide after this series is over. It didn't take him long. Only a few attempts. NightOwl also getting some fancy resets, but he fails to convert the opportunity. Yeah, that for all of Gainer's multiple reset goals, that was definitely one of the most interesting. It sort of reminds me of the flip reset chains that Evampel was putting together when he first came onto the scene doing that. Because he didn't go for the stall resets that Gainer usually uses. He was doing those full rotation resets, which looks completely bizarre. I'll get a bit ahead of himself here. He's going to try and retake off, but it's not going to work. He doesn't have his reset. Hey, King Spectre, thanks for gifting a sub to Buffalo. For my days, if you're up to date, subs in the stream. What on earth? Buffalo, welcome back for 11 months in a row. Breakout is the longest car. I believe you are correct on that one. I think Gainer still has his reset here, so he's going to try and fight this one back into the air. He's got some solid hits on it. Look at that direction change. There's the backflip. Continue air dribbling with a reset as well. So creative, because I don't think this was a premeditated attack. He's just making it up as he goes there. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'll use my dodge here, and then maybe I'll go for another reset, because that's the only way that he can keep the attack going. Now, again, landing without a flip intact. Yeah, he does get some distance on all of his flicks. Another angle rebound. Holy cow, Gainer with the read of the day, almost off the corner wall, rebounding on target. NightOwl was there and he had good coverage at the near post, so I would have been surprised if it had gone in, even if it was on target. But that still is quite an impressive angle. So yeah, NightOwl, he's going to retake off here. Didn't actually get going on the last attempt. But he's struggling in game 2 here. I think Gainer's goal that he scored might have put a dent in NightOwl's confidence. Of course, Gainer did get the only goal in this game. NightOwl got the only goal in the last game, so those are the 2 goals that are going head to head at the moment. I wonder, is there any point in dropping the shot quality at all, just to make it easier to score. Not the best bounce there for NightOwl. He, again, loses control before he can even take a shot on target. Looking a bit nervous in the second game. Ganer is having a fight hard here. He can't actually keep the ball up. It was always going down, down, and into the ground there. It is possible if you get enough solid touches to fight back against that ball. As I'm sure that you guys have seen if you watched any of my previous Freestyle 1v1 videos. I think Ganer as well, he's done this in the past. He's managed to fight back against the ball that's falling a little bit too far. So these guys, apparently they're having trouble with this server as well, with lag, which is not news to me because I did have who was it that was in stream recently playing ones and they didn't have a good time with their flip resets. Can't remember who it was. I'm trying to recall. Well, here comes NightOwl. Another late reset, but he's put it off target. He was able to keep the setup looking good there. Oh yeah, it was Alpha. That's right. Alpha and Breezy were having a nightmare. Flip resets just weren't working in that match either, although it was just a regular 1v1, so it didn't matter too much. This being a freestyle 1v1 means just a little bit more when your flip resets aren't working correctly. So this could be the only goal of the game here for Ganer, unless he keeps the ball up or lets NightOwl take it. He will actually give NightOwl one more chance. So and NightOwl takes into overtime. He decides that that takeoff was not going to be good enough, so into the middle of the field we go. He's just going to pop it and start flying straight up in the air. That's a wonderful start. Can he get the ball going towards the goal though? It looks like the answer to that is yes, and he's just going to pop it on targets for overtime. It's a simple air dribble, and I think Ganer has accepted the overtime challenge. He says, you know what, why not? Let's just go and see what happens in OT. He will get the first chance in OT, so not a terrible idea. Yayonator, thanks for the prime sub, welcome to the stream. Ganer with a little flip reset on the ball before he gets started. Turtle takeoff. And now air dribbling into the other half from the one he's trying to score in. Decides to bounce back into the air. It's a good landing. NightOwl actually a bit out of position here. Ganer too close to the goal though. Will not be able to rebound from that range. If he's flicking it that high, he needs to be further away so he has time to fly up in the air, get above the ball. The strategy is definitely a good one. It's, I think, a winning strategy. If he pulls that one off, people are going to be outrageously impressed. But he hasn't hit the target yet. It's been all crossbars. There's the one reset, the second one. Went for multiple this time. In fact, he's managed to spiral into several more. Ganer just spinning in circles and somehow keeping the resets coming. Your bias and all, Kings is a blessed mod. Give him a raise or something, maybe even better. Like, well, I don't know if a mold in my nose is a good idea for King Spectre, because he lives in America and I don't know if they ship items that large across the Atlantic. I'll have to do some research on that one. Do it, ship a mold in my nose to King Spectre, for goodness sake. Now everybody's going to be asking about that. So NightOwl is actually wondering where his flip reset's going. He's just tried to do a couple back to back there to check that they are still working. You have to pay a ton of fees. Yeah, you have to pay a lot. I mean, you've got those big container ships, right? If I ship a mold in my nose to America, it'll just be one of those like containers with a single mold in it. That would be it. Let you sub in for NightOwl, bruh. I mean, if you're you know, another breakout freestyle player, you're probably gonna have the same server issues these guys are having, because they're both having the same problems. Free takeoff there by NightOwl. He is all the way up at the ceiling here, just trying to get the ball towards Ganer's net. Very nice positioning. He's got the reset. It's a shot to the bottom corner. Ganer saves it. That was good placement, that the power was lacking for NightOwl there. after the setup came in. He just could not figure out how to pull off the shot. Ganer's thinking about the backflip flick. There it is, saved again by NightOwl. So a couple of shots on target there, but just not powerful enough or tricky enough to end up in the back of the net. So we're well into overtime game number 2. 2 overtimes already. Only 3 goals. 2 for NightOwl, 1 for Ganer. Just to get a quick visual here on chat, if you think that Ganer is currently the one who scored the... Well, if you think his 1 goal is better than the 2 that NightOwl scored, then type G. If you think that NightOwl's combo is better, then we get an N. Let's see who's winning right now. These camera settings hurt your eyes? Oh my days, yes, freestyle camera settings. I think Ganer's is the one that's most painful. When you first see it, I mean, after we've been in the lobby for like a couple of minutes, it becomes more normal, but when you first get into the lobby, you're like, what is this? And then NightOwl with the super low angle, I mean, it just seems to be preference. To be a freestyler, you just have to mess up your camera settings as much as possible. Just go into the barber and just say, yeah, just mess it up, man. Just give me the worst haircut possible. Anything bad will work. Because you've got super low angle, super high angle, and they're both insane at air dribbles. It's insane. The settings are ridiculous. Yeah, they're absolutely insane. For some reason it helps though. For Ganer it's quite clear why it's helpful, because while he's doing that, even while his car is completely underneath the ball, he can still see where he's going. NightOwl, meanwhile, he's having issues actually seeing where he's going. It's mostly just knowledge of where he is that's keeping him in position. But I think these settings are purely for extended air dribbles, and if he wasn't having server issues combined with a show match debut, I'm sure we would be seeing a lot of these air dribbles last well over a minute. Never seen any of his videos to know if that's something he has done before, but based on what I've seen so far, I would not be surprised. Okay, Ganer's well up at the ceiling. There's a reset and another one, and this is surely going to be a goal. Ganer just smashes it top shelf, and that is game number 2 with authority. Multiple resets, an extended air dribble, and a shot that is way too difficult to save. GG in game number 2. What are these dribbles? Have you never seen freestyle air dribbles before, Sis? That's actually, this is nothing. You've seen nothing. Seen nothing yet. I'll save that replay as well, so in case people want a run back of these goals. Was there a cheeky ceiling shuffle afterwards? Oh, I didn't see that. Did he do that at the end? Ganer's flip resets are looking way better than before. The thing that I'm most impressed with about Ganer's flip resets these days are the what do you call them? The creativity with them. Before he was kind of just like going straight into the ball every time. That was a reset by NightOwl, by the way, just effortless, leans into it. Can he get the ball on target? He's going to try and launch back into the air, and he did get into the air, but the ball has ran away from him a little bit. So Ganer wants to start off in NightOwl's half, but I believe he maybe air dribbling all the way back into his half. Oh, that's actually just complete fail this time. Looked like he might have been going for some sort of fast flip reset chain, maybe break his record, which is, I don't remember what Ganer's record is currently at. It's like 8 or 9, or is it over 10 now? What is his flip reset record now for a goal in Rocket League? It's got to be something ridiculous. I remember when it was just 5, and that was the world record. His record is 13. Well then, I guess I was underestimating him. he's managed a couple there, which is more than I've ever managed to do in a row. I think I have done 2 flip resets in a row before, but it was like I got like a random flip reset, and then I flipped into the just in a random direction and hit the ball again. Got a second one. It wasn't intentional in the slightest, which I'm sure comes as a huge surprise to all of you. What was that? I felt like Ganer tackled there or something. The ball just teleported. But Toastmaker RL, that's the 11-month prime. Welcome to the stream. King Spectre, thanks for gifting another sub. This time to Jack RL. You're gifting everybody the big chains. Okay, here comes Ganer. Multiple resets. He just wants to keep this one up as long as possible and get a crazy streak going. Looks like it's going to get away from him though. He's done a pretty good job keeping it up as long as he did, but it will go into the blue half. NightOwl says he forgot how to do good things. Well, hopefully he can figure out soon, because he isn't like too far behind Ganer, who's scored I'd say a couple of very high level goals so far in this lobby, and maybe NightOwl has scored the one, so he's not a huge deal behind. If he could pull off something extraordinary, then he might retake the lead in the Twitch chat estimation as we approach our halftime. Oh my goodness, we got us with the tier 3. What on earth? Cheers for gifted a tier 3 to Sizz. So we'll have to review one of Sizz's replays on stream. That would be a lot of fun, actually. I've got quite a few replays from Sizz, but not the ones that you guys or none that you guys are aware of. Hand off there from Ganer, wants to give it right back to NightOwl after the failed attempt of his own play. NightOwl might be getting himself like, he's getting off on a wrong foot in a lot of these attempts, and he's having to fight so hard just to keep the ball in the air. Look, he's boosting this entire time, but he still can't get it back up because the angle is not working in his favor. Maybe if NightOwl just gave himself an easier start, he might be able to win this one. Oh wow, Ganer with the bump off the last reset. Takes a 1-0 lead. We'll take a look at what NightOwl saw. I believe he was indeed trying to save this. He just got clattered over the line by Ganer after multiple resets. Hey, Vaganis, thanks for the random gift to sub to Achilles. I believe it was random. Welcome to the stream, Achilles. Ganer says he feels bad now. Maybe he didn't mean to go for the bump. I mean, I wouldn't feel bad. I would be feeling delighted if I did a quad flip reset bump. It'd be fantastic. Perfect way to finish off the quad flip reset goal, to be honest. How are you supposed to get to the opposing player's goal from here? Ganer trying to figure it out. So yeah, NightOwl is going to make a card change for the last game. See if he can get anything working with the Octane. Still got a minute here to find a goal. If he does get one, he'll have another chance at one in overtime. The ball is just refusing to listen to him at the moment, though. It's really, really difficult for him to get it going the way he wants. But there you go. That's a bit better. After a battle of epic proportions, trying to keep it away from the wall, NightOwl scoops it on target with a backflip flick. And we're all tied up in game number 3. Beautiful finish there by NightOwl. And like I said, by scoring that goal, he's given himself a chance to also score another one in game number 3. Mechanics, thanks for gifting us up to Asmo192 as well. Welcome, Asmo. And Johnny Pretzels, thanks for the 4-month prime. Mechanics just going gift crazy over here. He's gifted one to Fox as well. And also, Ganer's going crazy. Let's take another look at this from NightOwl's POV. Ganer getting a reset on the ceiling this time, and then a backflip ceiling shot into the top shelf of the goal. This is what I was talking about earlier in the series. If you just throw in a couple of not absolutely out of this world insane goals into the mix, I think you're giving yourself a good chance to get the fan vote here, because as much as everybody wants to see the 30-second air dribble, quad reset, backflip flick, rebound goal work one time, those take a lot of time to set up. Speaking of, here we go, and it's a much better first touch for Gainers. Shot really low though, and NightOwl easily saves it. He wants, of course, to get one more goal so he can continue his quest in game number 3. It's a great position to be in. NightOwl might have just got the next goal, and he will on 0 seconds, no less. Ganer might have been staying away from a bump here, or it's just his camera settings or positioning getting him in trouble. NightOwl in the top corner, and overtime game 3. Hey, M-Dog, thanks for getting to the sub to Krogbits. Welcome to the stream, Krogbits. And cheers to you, M-Dog, for the gift. Cameron, thanks to the 100 bits as well. I think I'm up to date with sub shoutouts and cheers and all that, but if I forgot you, then please just let one of my mods know in chat and they'll tell me. Gainer is going the wrong way at the moment, but that should be remedied momentarily. See, now he's trying to work the ball towards NightOwl's goal. A couple of leans backwards. And he's bouncing back up into the air. Needs to backflip flick. He gets a couple of touches and a dunk. Gainer! Oh my goodness. He apologizes 3 times in chat, but he's managed to get it all the way into the goal. What a dunk. He just stands up lengthwise and just skids across the turf and gets the game win here in game 3. Nice little celebration there at the end also. So we are going to do one more game here, just since these guys have been having some lag issues. Yeah, we'll get another visual poll in chat just to see what you guys think. So G if you think Ganer is currently winning, N if you think NightOwl is currently winning. Yeah, it's all G's here. I think there's a single N, or actually, well, there's a few N's now, but yeah, very much in the favor of Ganer at the moment. The experience is really helping him out, but NightOwl switching it up to the Octane. Now, what can he do in the different car? Nobody wants to go for the first shot. It is NightOwl's shot because Ganer finished off the previous game with a shot of his own. So this is going to be interesting. Looking for those Evampel style resets by the looks of things. Still using his own little takeoff method, though, is NightOwl. So Gainer looking for another angle, rebound off the corner wall. This one's not even close. If you didn't catch game 2 of this series, I would recommend you go and watch it just so you see how close Gainer was to scoring one of those. A backflip flick rebound off the corner wall. It's a bit too low in the shot and it's slightly off target. Speaking of too low, that one is also going to be straight into the goalkeeper. Do the bottle cap challenge with your nose. Well, just stick the old person filter on as well, since that's all the rage these days. Oh, that's the score. Just look at the placement from NightOwl. And it looks like the car change might have helped out quite a bit. Those resets were not easy to get, and even the last shot, he's had to flip so early for it, but he puts it top shelf, and that has started to claw him back into this series. This is going to be the final game here, remember. His last chance to get the win, not in score line, but in fan vote. Gainer has had the majority of the good goals in this one. He's in a great position here. Look at the snap on that flip reset flick. He was way down near the ground, bounces back into position, and top corners a shot at 67 kilometers an hour. That's unbelievable from Gainer. But Candace, since you're gifting a tier 3 to Tyler Heavens, what on earth is happening? What are these tier 3 gifts? So, Candace with another one. How do I spell Tyler Heavens? Not like that. I wrote Tyler Nevins. There we go, Tyler Heavens. And I might be able to go at tiers for 26 months in a row. Another crazy read attempted by Gainer. He smashed us so high, though. That was a ridiculously high flick into the corner of the field. M-Dog, cheers for 3 months, tier 1. Let's go NightOwl, he says. Well, wait and see if he can get anything going. Starting off just about as far away as he could with an air dribble. Decides to turtle catch it, but it is going to roll off target. For a second there, it looked like you might be able to skid along on 2 wheels. It wasn't meant to be. Now Gainer's going to try and show him how it's done. We just saw NightOwl flop a long range air dribble. Of course, he is in the Octane, so I don't know if it's as easy. Oh, hold on a second. NightOwl's got to run here because Gainer might have owned gold. It's gone into the crossbar after his Gainer wondering why all of his flicks are going at a bajillion miles an hour. It's true, he is having difficulty catching up to those. Ceiling reset. Reset on the ball. Ooh, a little takeoff in reverse there by NightOwl, but he doesn't get underneath the ball. That little landing with the roof of the car timed with a dodge. So smart. I've never seen that until today. Of course, it might be a pretty common thing. Oh no, NightOwl, well, he's talking in chat. It's just to let Gainer score. Gainer didn't even mean to. He was trying to keep this one out after he realized it wasn't going to be a freestyle goal. Maybe NightOwl will want to score a goal here just to get the game back to level. I imagine that, especially now that Gainer has scored a goal that isn't a freestyle goal, he'll probably let NightOwl score 1 goal at the very end of this game if he doesn't get one by his own merit. Yeah, Ganer is actually just going to score a goal here to tie things up. Just to make sure that if they, if this one is going to be decided, it will be in overtime. If it's going to be decided after a 2-goal or 2-2 score. Tarbo, why can't you do this? You don't. It's because you don't play the breakout, mate. Have you not seen what breakout players can do? It's insane. The air dribbling potential of this car is like it's playing a different game at times. Gainer is trying to get this one back into the air. I don't think even he can do that. Are they air dribbling like this? You need to go and watch the air dribble world record. Says I think the air dribble world record with unlimited boost is something like 5 or 6 minutes. Chat, help me out here. What is the air dribble world record at? Somebody can tell me. It might have actually gone up. It's okay. Never mind. 23 minutes. There you go. It's over 30 minutes now. What? It's 40 minutes. Are you kidding me? So there, yeah. They're pretty good at air dribbling. Freestyle and Carball did it. Oh yeah, Freestyle and Carball was in my stream once. Only 30 minutes. Weak. So yeah, they're pretty good at that. They just they air dribble so well that even if the ball is falling slightly, they can get it back up into the air without using the ground to restart the air dribble. It is possible. I've seen them do it several times. You know, they'll be losing height and then eventually it just comes back up. Oh wow, Gainer just can't get it right today. It's so close every time, but it's not meant to be. He's going for the crossbar there and then the rebound, but this one fell too low.
Are there any good Rocket League players from Colombia? Also, it looks
Fireburner
like
had a Colombian flag in his NRG jersey.
Glad to be one of your viewers. Smile.
I don't know. Is he got Colombian heritage probably? I'm not 100% sure about the relationship there, right? Is Gainer going to win this on 0 seconds? He's in a fantastic position here. This is exactly where he wants to be. He's air dribbling it into the ceiling currently. Oh, NightOwl's actually come off the line. I don't know if that was intended, but Gainer keeps it up. He might be trying to hand it off here so that NightOwl can give a 0-second shot himself, or a go himself, because yeah, Gainer did fail his attempt. So in the Octane, it's got to be resets, I imagine. Failed takeoff there by NightOwl. Gainer actually helps him keep it up. That's smart. Actually, a second time Gainer helps him keep it in the air. So let's see if Gainer can do something with it. He's going to just power slide dribble back into his own half. Let's see what he's got planned. It's a little backflip flick into the air for the takeoff. But he can't let that bounce. That's the difference. See, if we were in normal time, he would have just let that bounce and bounce beside it. But he can't do a ground bounce in overtime, or in 0-second time rather. Fireburner's family in Colombia. There you go. So that's probably the only Colombian player I know. But there's probably Rocket League players in Colombia. Oh, too low. And the dunk off target as well for NightOwl. Remember guys, this will be the last game of the series, so NightOwl absolutely needs a goal if he wants to win this. It needs to be a good one, I think. His Gainers have been very impressive so far today. He bounced back into the air and off to the ceiling he goes. Now Gainer's trying to use the ceiling here to help him turn the ball around. He's been able to do it, but unfortunately lands all wheels down, so over it goes to NightOwl. Pretty smart there for Gainer to use the ceiling to help him turn the ball around though. Something we don't see too often. Usually the ceiling just comes into play when players are trying to get the air dribble to last as long as possible. Yeah, at the moment it looks like it's just a matter of time before Gainer scores something special. NightOwl is struggling in the latter half of this game to get anything going in the Octane. Gainer going to flip towards the corner. He's trying to rebound that one in. Such a difficult angle though, he can't read it. A failed stall there for NightOwl. Trying to flip towards the ball without actually rotating his car. He says when KBM player can't stall SMH. It is very easy to stall on a keyboard and mouse compared to a controller. Gainer's just going to give that one over. Why is Nightbot rude? What did Nightbot say to you that's got you so upset? What did he say? Right, NightOwl looking for fancy goal to win it all, but he can't land on the ball. He got one of these in the early stages of this game. You know, multiple resets, spinning resets as well, not stall resets, which I do consider to be a harder quality of shot. Nightbot keeps saying no. Wait, why is Nightbot saying that? Can we get... Is Nightbot just replying no whenever anybody says can we get? Oh, it's whenever somebody says can. Oh, okay, we figured it out there. Ganer says so the person with the world record can't stall. Yeah, Ganer is indeed the world record flip reset holder at 13 flip resets in a row on a goal. Or is it on a goal, or just is it just 13 flip resets period? So help me out again, Twitch chat, all of you freestyle knowledgeable people. So Gainer actually getting that one into the ceiling now. Here he comes, and that looks good. Gainer with the rebounds. He hits the shot he's been going for all day after sticking the ball to the ceiling for an extended period of time. Dives in a position, and this time it wasn't a crossbar rebound but off the post. Brilliant stuff by Gainer at the end there. We saw a brief moment at the start of this game where NightOwl was able to make it look like it might be close, but I think we all know who the winner of this one is going to be. NightOwl says it was a catastrophe. Well, I think he got a couple of good goals, so it wasn't the absolute worst possible outcome. It would have could have gone better for him, of course, but yeah, vote in that straw poll who you think won the series. We'll bring it up on screen so you guys can see, crop it properly so it doesn't take up the entire screen. See the results here. Oh wait, I forgot to, there we go. So yeah, Gainer is racing ahead in the votes. That is not surprising. You know, there have been some really close freestyle 1v1s in the past, but some of them are much more obvious who's won because they just managed to get their shot to work in and the other player didn't. This was one of those games. NightOwl got the first goal of the series, so he was ahead for a little bit. I think Gainer came back too strong in game 2 though and really shook him up, and then even though we saw the little glimmer of hope for NightOwl in game 4 with the opening goal, it never really amounted to anything more. So Gainer with the win, congrats to him, and yeah, shout out to these guys for coming on stream and putting on a great show for us.